ramusoso. Come through, come see my land. Come through, come see my land. My land, ramu kanji, ramu leke, ramu gole, ramusoso. Come through, come see my land. Come through, come see my land. My land.
One tax represents Solomon Island people say. We people start originally from my homeland. Like my old man said, there's nothing impossible. So we have to bring this message to my brother lyrical. Straight from the crew, out to the blue. We represent the voices of my ancestors calling. And I was getting old, and my culture is falling. Now we have a step up for the past 20 calling.
Once down, once it stop, ain't nobody gonna stop us. People, everybody, would you listen to us for a start? No point complaining in this we partaking. We represent the cause of the ones falling. We resemble true art. When we bust the line, flip the rabbits from our heart. No, there's never gonna be another. Everybody stop betraying undercover.
We had recently said goodbye to Cairns and started our 1,300-mile journey to Darwin, which would be our last stop before heading into Indonesia. Our first stop was Lizard Island, where we enjoyed a beautiful anchorage, celebrated the 4th of July, explored the island, and did some sweet diving. Our next stop was to be Margaret Bay. The conditions over there were perfect, and we put the poles out for some downwind sailing. We reached Margaret Bay a couple of days later, with only one other boat in sight. The perfect time for the first taste test of our homemade vodka.
Oh, that's delicious.
Oh yeah, it tastes just like
Bloody Mary.
Good job, boy.
Delicious.
Shit, I just bent my nails. It was standing the other way.
ow.
That was a fucking freaky moment.
I put up some flag stickers of all the countries Delos had visited, and the guys went hunting for oysters. Feeling stoked when they came back with a massive bucket full. Only to be pretty shamed when they couldn't even open one. Returning the oysters back to their home, they resorted to making more liquor.
Oh yeah.
That is beautiful.
The next day, we took the dinghy for a little adventure. We had heard of this thing called the Blue Trail, starting somewhere in this massive bay. The only guide was to look for something blue.
Upward! To the beach, to the blue trail.
And what have we found?
The blue trail.
I see blue rope.
So I think
I see blue rope in that tree, another one, and a blue crate. So we are off looking for the blue trail and crocs.
The trail was actually really cool. We weren't exactly sure where we were going, but we guessed over to the windward side of the island, where apparently a lot of blue debris had washed up. And someone a long time ago had made a sweet little trail out of it all.
Strange.
That's a weird one. Snoopy in a termite mound.
When we made it to the other side, there was a pretty sweet hut with a lot of random stuff.
We made it.
You want to leave the other one, Brett?
Yeah, we'll leave the blue one on the trail, I reckon.
After some lunch, we made our way back to Delos, and that evening, both us and Tina decided the wind was perfect to continue north.
Gnarly waves, man. What's going on, Yasharama?
It's Cape York, the tip,
Fucking tip Australia,
the
mate.
tip of Australia.
Australia.
We're that little speck right there.
Yeah, we are. There it is.
After a while at sea, we decided to round the Cape and tuck into Seisha, a small town with a little supermarket and a yacht club. Brady and I decided to put up the new Delos logo on the bow. Brian's week of Princess was almost up. After his final request, we asked him how it was.
Well, I got called my lord quite often, which was nice. I did not cook any dinners or clean any dishes, which was also quite nice. And I got carried from the dinghy to the beach a couple of times, which was pretty decent. And we were about ready to pick this new week's prince/princess out of the common bowl. The new princess of the week is, drum roll please, Yasharama!
Oh yeah.
And that was it. After a quick stop at the ridiculously expensive supermarket, we were eager to continue on, excited for the next adventures to come. Stay tuned as Delos sails over 400 miles across the Gulf of Carpentaria, through isolated and stunning groups of islands, pristine beaches, and we even meet the Australian Army. Started our 1,300-mile journey to Darwin, which would be our last stop before heading into Indonesia. Our first stop was Lizard Island, where we enjoyed a beautiful anchorage, celebrated the 4th of July, explored the island, and did some sweet diving.
Listen to us for a start, no point complaining unless we're partaking. We represent the cause of the ones falling. We resemble true art when we bust the line, flip the rhymes from our heart. No, there's never gonna be another. Everybody stop portraying undercover.
We had recently said goodbye to Cairns and
Ramu kanji, ramu leke, ramu gole, ramu soso. Come to Ram see my land. Come to Ram see my land. There's nothing impossible, so we have to bring this message to my brother lyrical, straight from the crew. Out to the blue, we represent the voices of my ancestors calling. And I was getting more and my culture is falling. Now we have a step up for the past 20 calling.
Once down with this stuff, ain't nobody gonna stop us. People, everybody, would you leave?
Malera, ramu kanji, ramu leke, ramu gole, ramu soso. Come to Ram see my land. Come to Ram see my land. Malera. One tax represents Solomon Island people say. We people style originally from my homeland, like my old man said.